Schwarzenegger isn't just an icon, he's a force that bent the world to his will, only to face tempests no muscle could conquer. What if the man who crushed every limit now battles? Shadows that creep closer with each passing year? Picture a boy in a forgotten Austrian village, dreaming beyond the cold walls that confined him, unaware of the hurricanes ahead. Born in 1947 amid the ruins of war-torn Thal, Arnold entered a home where warmth was as scarce as luxuries. His father, a rigid police chief shaped by his own demons, doled out discipline like daily bread, saving praise for Arnold's older brother. Young Arnold felt like a ghost in his own story, overlooked and aching for recognition. Whispers from those days paint a picture of emotional voids that cut deep, planting seeds of a relentless drive. He turned to makeshift weights in a dank basement, clanging metal against the silence above. Those early reps weren't about vanity. They were survival tools, a way to forge visibility from nothing. By his teens, he'd pedal miles to a dingy gym in Graz, ignoring the wind's bite and friends' mockery. Strength became his ticket out, a shield against the smallness threatening to swallow him whole. Touchdown in America at 21 hit like a cold wave. Los Angeles in 1968 was a whirlwind of noise, an opportunity, but for Arnold, it meant scraping by with broken English and empty pockets. He hauled bricks on sun-baked sites, muscles screaming as he stashed every cent. Nights blurred into sweat-soaked sessions in rundown gyms where the iron's clang drowned out homesickness. Loneliness gnawed harder than the physical grind. Miles from family, he wrestled doubts in cramped rooms, staring at cracked ceilings. Bodybuilding was fringe back then, dismissed as oddity. But Arnold flipped the script. At 23, he snagged his first Olympia crown, the youngest ever, proving doubters wrong. Each win stacked pressure, though. A loss could have meant deportation fears or fading dreams. He pushed through tears in tendons and bruised pride, trading pain for a foothold in this new land. And just when stability seemed near, the real test ramped up. Dominance in the posing world came. Swift, 6 straight Olympias. By 1975, a 7th in 1980 after a comeback, but the toll was hidden, constant injuries, the shadow of admitted enhancements that fueled his edge, and the fear of slipping from the peak. Hollywood beckoned. Next. But doors slammed on his accent and unpronounceable name. Conan in 1982 cracked it, open despite execs' laughs. Then Terminator in 1984 made him untouchable. His gravelly Manalbi. Backham echoing globally. Fame's rush masked the exhaustion, endless shoots, isolation on sets, the weight of being a symbol. Every flop amplified scrutiny, turning triumphs into tightropes. Whispers from insiders hint at the mental strain, where no script prepared him for the isolation at the top. And partisan fires. But accusations flew during the race. Over a dozen women claimed unwanted advances, stories from sets and campaigns that he later addressed with regret, calling it a wake-up. Reports suggest these claims tested his marriage and image, yet he powered through 2 terms till 2011. Fast forward to now, and echoes resound. In 2025, he's clashing with Gavin Newsom over a gerrymandering push, vowing to terminate Prop 50. Buzz Online speculates it's personal, with Arnold's redistricting legacy on the line against what he sees as a power grab. This fresh feud stirs old debates about his motives, but it shows the fire still burns. No crown or office shielded him from the body's betrayals. Born with a faulty heart valve, Arnold kept it buried for decades, fearing it exposed weakness. In 1997, at 50, surgeons cracked his chest open for a replacement, a procedure he downplayed, but that left him raw. He didn't even tell his aging mother, only to lose her soon after without a final word. Then 2018 brought chaos, a routine fix turned emergency open heart ordeal, waking to tubes in terror. Reports claim he flashed on his kids and ex, questioning unfinished business. Another valve in 2020, and by 2024, arrhythmia from old scars demanded a pacemaker. At 78 in 2025, he shares via his Pump Club podcast, framing it as awareness, but listeners catch the undertone of a warrior, measuring time. Speculation swirls that past enhancements accelerated where, though unverified. What we know is each beat now hums with machinery, a stark shift for the man once called unbreakable. Worse than flesh failing was watching a mind unravel. His father-in-law, Sergeant Shriver, a towering diplomat and Peace Corps founder, began fading in the early 2000s to dementia's grip. Small slips at first, misplaced items, looped tails. Arnold spotted the signs haunted by an uncle's similar decline back home. As years wore on, Shriver became a shell drifting through familiar spaces like a stranger. The gut punch moment? When he gazed at Arnold blankly and asked, "Who are you?" That vacancy shattered more than any injury, sparking Arnold's dread of his own erasure. He ramped up brain workouts, diet tweaks, and poured into Alzheimer's research as tribute. It's been said this loss reshaped him, turning ambition toward legacy that outlasts memory. And yet the sharpest wound was one he inflicted himself. The fracture hit in 2011, when the world learned of his hidden son, Joseph, born in 1997 to the family housekeeper amid his marriage to Maria Shriver. For over a decade, the boy grew up under the same roof as Arnold's other kids, the resemblance growing undeniable. The fallout was brutal. Public humiliation, kids reeling from the shock, Joseph thrust into scrutiny. Maria's grace in statements masked deep hurt, leading to their split. Arnold calls it his biggest failure, a scar he carries daily. Recent chatter online speculates on lingering family tensions. Though photos show bonds mending, Joseph training with him, the others gathering for milestones. But whispers persist that full trust may never return, a reminder that some breaks heal unevenly. From that low, Arnold rebuilt in the quiet. No flashy comebacks, just steady steps owning his eye. Roll with all 5 kids, funding causes like veterans and environment, evolving his fitness empire. At 78, his Brentwood spread worth tens of millions houses, artifacts of a wild ride, tanks from military days, electric Hummers nodding to green shifts. He jets in a Gulfstream for family or advocacy, but mornings start with measured workouts. Plant-heavy meals and meditation to outpace time. Son Christopher's recent 30-pound drop mirrors Arnold's health push. Joseph's full embrace warms old wounds. Wealth at $1.2 billion stems from savvy moves. Real estate. Flips sold ventures like supplements with LeBron. Yet 2024's Munich watch tax snag drew headlines, with officials probing evasion on a charity item. And his 2025 View comments on immigrants behaving like guests sparked backlash, fueling debates on his evolving views. Reports claim these flaps tied to his anti-gerrymandering crusade, perhaps irking allies. Through it all, he mentors youth, builds parks, honors Shriver's memory, acts not for applause, but amends. In the end, Arnold's saga isn't polished glory. It's raw proof that storms forge the unbreakable, but also humble them. From Thal's chill to Hollywood's blaze, governorships grind to hearts. Whispers he's risen, fallen, and stood again. At 78, with a mechanical pulse and family scars, he embodies endurance not as conquest, but quiet persistence. What if his vulnerabilities make him the ultimate blueprint? Ponder that. In a world chasing perfection, maybe true power lies in owning the cracks.